Imagine a weapon invented with the intention of saving lives, only to become the very instrument that redefined mass slaughter. This is the paradoxical story of the machine gun, a tool that didn't just win battles but reshaped the entire landscape of modern war. For much of the 19th century, the dream of rapid fire was just that, a dream. Inventors built complex multi-barreled contraptions. Richard Gatling, for instance, created his famous gun in 1862 with 10 rotating barrels cranked by hand. Gatling, a man who openly lamented the carnage of war, wrote that he wanted a weapon which could, by its rapidity of fire, enable one man to do as much battle duty as 100. His hope was chillingly logical. If one man with a machine could replace 100, then armies could be smaller and wars less bloody. Other guns followed, like the Nordenfelt with its row of rifle barrels, but they all shared a fundamental limitation. They were sped-up volley guns, still dependent on a soldier's muscle to crank a lever or turn a handle. They could unleash a storm of bullets, but they could not fire automatically. The machine was still waiting for its true voice. Then came the Hiram Maxim. With him, the evolutionary leap. In 1884, Maxim had a revelation. Instead of fighting the powerful kick of the fired bullet, he would use it. He would harness the recoil energy to do the reloading and firing. This was the key. His single-barrel gun used the force of its own firing to eject the spent cartridge, load the next one, and fire again. With a simple pull of the trigger, it could unleash 600 rounds in a minute. No crank, no lever, just the relentless mechanical chatter of the gun that worked, in essence, by itself. In short, Hiram Maxim had built the first effective machine gun, and the world's militaries took notice. By the 1890s, Maxim-style guns were becoming standard issue. But a profound and tragic gap emerged between the weapon's capability and the military doctrine of the age. On the eve of the First World War, the old world of warfare clung desperately to tradition. Britain's cavalry commander, Sir John French, famously dismissed the new technology, quipping that the machine gun had no stopping power against the horse. He could not have been more wrong. In practice, machine guns stopped horses with horrific efficiency. The thunder of hooves was silenced by the mechanical roar of the Maxim. Cavalry charges, the romantic hallmark of centuries of combat, were rendered suicidal. And it was not just horses. Massed infantry advances, those grand sweeping lines of men, became nothing more than the target practice. The guns forced a terrible static logic onto the battlefield. If you could not advance in the face of such fire, you dug in. You buried yourself in the earth. Trenches, barbed wire, and interlocking fields of machine gun fire became the new reality. Maxim gun gave World War I its nickname, the Machine Gun War, and its destructive abilities necessitated trench warfare as a defensive strategy. The romantic charges were obsolete. The age of the machine had arrived on the battlefield, cold, impersonal, and devastatingly efficient. The poet Hilaire Belloc, observing the colonial firepower of the era, captured this brutal asymmetry with a wry couplet. Whatever happens, we have got the Maxim gun, and they have not. That simple rhyme speaks of volumes. By the dawn of the 20th century, the machine gun had changed everything. It entered the reign of cavalry, it buried the infantry in trenches, and it introduced a scale of firepower that forever served war from its age-old rituals. Maxim and his peers unleashed not just a new weapon, but a new era of industrialized conflict. This was the birth of a new era of warfare.